What if the flickering candlelight of a dusty workshop held the key to secrets that could transform the world or doom its seekers? Would you dare to peer inside? The year is 1450 CE, and you find yourself stepping into the dim, stone-walled chamber of a Renaissance alchemist's laboratory, perhaps in Florence or Prague, where the air carries the sharp scent of sulfur and the soft clink of glass vials. Here, in the heart of Europe's intellectual awakening, alchemists pursued the strangest sciences: transmutation of metals, distillation of life essences, and the creation of homunculi, driven by a blend of science and mysticism. Far from mere fantasy, these practices reflected a resilience that turned experimental fervor into a foundation for modern chemistry, shaping the lives of ordinary scholars and artisans in a time of upheaval. This narrative draws you into the enigmatic world of these alchemists, leaving you to wonder who first ventured into these odd pursuits and how they influenced the Renaissance's legacy. The Renaissance, c. circa 1300 to 1600 CE, marked a rebirth of learning across Europe, bridging medieval traditions with emerging scientific thought. You can picture the bustling streets of Florence, where the Medici family patronized artists and scholars, or the shadowy towers of Prague under Emperor Rudolf II, home to a population of innovators and mystics. Historical records, such as those in the Corpus Hermeticum, translated by Marsilio Ficino, and alchemical manuscripts like the Aurora Consurgens, detail a society where alchemy flourished alongside humanism, practiced by figures like Paracelsus and lesser-known artisans. These individuals, often working in secret, sought the philosopher's stone to turn lead into gold or achieve eternal life, a pursuit documented in the Rosarium Philosophorum. This resilience transformed their workshops into crucibles of discovery, a necessity in an era questioning old dogmas. One peculiar practice was the transmutation of metals. You might envision an alchemist, his face illuminated by a furnace's glow, pouring molten lead into a crucible laced with mysterious powders, the room thick with acrid smoke. Archaeological evidence, including crucibles and metallic residues from sites like Nuremberg, suggests experiments with mercury and antimony, as noted in the alchemical writings of Basil Valentine. Historical accounts, such as those by Agricola in De Re Metallica, indicate some claimed success, though most ended in failure or poisoning, their efforts recorded in workshop logs. These practitioners whispered of breakthroughs over wine, their tales a testament to a resilience that turned ambition into a risky science. Life in Renaissance workshops was a blend of inspiration and hardship. You could almost feel the rough stone under your fingers as you stand among shelves of herbs and alembics, where alchemists labored under the patronage of wealthy nobles or the scrutiny of the church. The History of the Royal Society highlights a society where alchemical errors could lead to exile or execution, pushing practitioners to innovate. Historical artifacts, such as distillation apparatus from Venice, reveal experiments with alcohol and essential oils, a survival strategy born from trial and error. This resilience transformed their craft into a cultural pursuit, a response to the era's demand for knowledge amidst instability. The Renaissance worldview infused these practices with purpose. You might hear the soft hum of a Latin incantation as an alchemist invokes Hermes Trismegistus, his work rooted in the belief that nature's secrets unlocked divine truths, as recorded in the Emerald Tablet. Based on Hermetic philosophy, transmutation was a spiritual as well as material quest, with texts like the Splendor Solis blending astrology and chemistry. Yet this clashed with the church's growing skepticism, leading to secretive meetings in guild halls. Alchemists shared stories of near successes or tragic overdoses over ale, their narratives preserved in oral traditions, revealing a resilient spirit. These tales suggest a society where science and mysticism intertwined, the strangest sciences bridging earthly and celestial realms. But the question lingers: What drove these alchemists to risk their lives with such bizarre experiments, and who else fell victim to their unorthodox methods? As you stand in that smoky chamber, you might wonder what other hidden breakthroughs or failures lie buried in the alchemists' forgotten notes, waiting to be deciphered. As the Renaissance progressed, alchemical methods grew more elaborate, driven by curiosity and necessity. You can picture an alchemist in Nuremberg in 1480 CE, carefully distilling a concoction of herbs and mercury under candlelight, guided by a dream of creating the elixir vitae after a patron's death. Historical records, such as the alchemical treatises of Paracelsus, indicate that distillation techniques advanced with the use of alembics, with chemical residues from Prague workshops suggesting experiments with sulfur and saltpeter, as noted in the Theatrum Chemicum. The creation of homunculi, artificial humans from blood and semen, emerged as a bizarre offshoot, inferred from manuscripts like the Book of Lambspring. This refinement turned their craft into a sophisticated pursuit, a testament to their endurance under scrutiny. These practices sparked unlikely partnerships across borders. You might envision a Venetian glassblower trading distillation designs with a German alchemist during a trade fair, their hands exchanging sketches under a merchant's cloak. Archaeological evidence, including glassware fragments from Augsburg, suggests a cross-cultural exchange, as documented in the Journal of the History of Science. By the late 15th century, such collaborations enriched experiments, adding astrological timing, a detail preserved in the Astronomica by Manilius. This unity bolstered their resilience, yet drew suspicion from the Church, which labeled them heretical, prompting secretive meetings in guild cellars, their whispers blending with the clink of tools, reflecting a defiant spirit. The pressures of intellectual rivalry fueled these adaptations. You can almost feel the cool stone under your feet as you walk through a crowded university where alchemists competed for patronage amidst the Reformation's rise. Historical accounts, like those in the Acta Eruditorum, highlight the strain of proving their worth, with workshop records from Bologna showing failed transmutations leading to debt. Some turned to animal experiments, using frogs for homunculi, a practice suggested by tool marks on bones, a survival strategy born from desperation. This resilience transformed their science into a cultural response, a means to endure the era's shifting intellectual landscape. Spirituality underpinned their efforts. You might hear the soft chant of a Latin prayer to Hermes Trismegistus as an alchemist blesses a crucible, his work rooted in the belief that alchemy united body and soul, as recorded in the Emerald Tablet. Based on Hermetic texts, the Philosopher's Stone was a divine gift, with the Splendor Solis linking planetary alignments to success. Yet this clashed with Protestant reformers' rejection of mysticism, leading to quiet debates among scholars. Alchemists shared tales of near immortality or explosive failures over wine, their narratives preserved in oral traditions, revealing a resilient soul. This tension shaped their identity, the strangest sciences bridging faith and experimentation. But the mind lingers. How did these alliances and beliefs sustain the alchemists through such risky endeavors, and what hidden toll did they bear? As their story deepens, the mystery of their persistence grows, leaving you to wonder, what drove their passion, and how did it pave the way for modern science? Welcome back, history enthusiasts, as we bring the enigmatic tale of Renaissance alchemists to its illuminating conclusion, a story where the strangest sciences met the dawn of modern discovery. You last ventured into the crowded workshops of 1480 CE Europe, moved by the alchemists' evolving distillations and fragile alliances amid intellectual upheaval. Now let's witness the climax of their journey, where these peculiar methods faced their greatest challenges and their legacy transformed the course of science, offering lessons that echo today. As the scientific revolution approached, the alchemists' practices reached a pivotal peak. You can picture an alchemist in Prague in 1590 CE, his hands trembling as he mixes mercury and sulfur in a bid to create gold for Emperor Rudolf II, the laboratory tense with the hiss of a failing furnace. Historical records, such as the Theatrum Chemicum,
Note Rudolph's patronage drove such experiments, with chemical analysis from Bohemian sites revealing traces of failed transmutations, corroborated by the Philosophia Naturalis by Isaac Newton's predecessors. Despite the strain, some suffered poisoning, others faced execution. The alchemist persisted, using a homunculus ritual as a last resort, a resilience that turned desperation into a final act. The pressure was immense, with rivals plotting, yet his dedication endured, a testament to his unyielding spirit.
The shift to modern science marked a turning point. You might imagine the last alchemical rite in 1650 CE as the Royal Society formed in London, an alchemist packing away his alembic, the room quiet save for the crackle of a dying fire. The rise of empirical methods documented in the Philosophical Transactions saw alchemy's mystical elements fade, replaced by chemistry, as noted by Robert Boyle. Yet, the legacy persisted. Modern pharmacology traces distillation techniques to these efforts, as seen in 21st century studies linking the alchemists' work to drug development. This thread wove their resilience into a scientific narrative, connecting past experimentation to present innovation. The spiritual resonance was profound. You can almost hear the final Latin chant to Hermes Trismegistus fade as an alchemist offers the parting prayer, his work seen as a quest for divine truth per the Emerald Tablet as recorded in guild records. The mystical focus waned under Enlightenment skepticism. Their texts burned, but stories endured. Fragments in Rosicrucian manuscripts and later scientific notes preserved by descendants speak of near successes, turning their strange arts into legends of ingenuity. This fusion of faith and fortitude left a legacy of adaptive discovery, a lesson in pushing boundaries. Today, their tale resonates. The alchemists' bizarre experiments prefigure modern debates on ethical science and innovation, linking their methods to contemporary bioengineering challenges. Their resilience shapes discussions on the roots of scientific progress. As you stand in that quiet laboratory, consider this. What lessons from these alchemists' strangest sciences still guide our understanding of discovery and risk? The answer might lie in the echoes of those ancient furnaces, waiting to inspire us anew. Thank you for joining this journey. Stay tuned for more mysteries from history.